Hi, my name is Oswaldo Perez, and I'm here with Huanito Luksetic.
Yeah, that's right, Oswaldo.
We're here in Opatija, and in the previous video we talked about Juanito's struggle with MS and how cannabis oil helped him get rid of these symptoms. So, Juanito, for all the people that are listening that have some health problems, what's the process of cultivating the marijuana, the cannabis, and transform it into the oil or extract?
Yeah, good question as well. Actually, it's really easy, just like planting a cucumber seedling or tomato. So it's easy, just in somewhere in April or May, June, you can get the seeds and start the seeds to sprout and put it in a seedling. And in a couple days or 1 or 2 days, you already have a little plant. And in 2, 3, 4 weeks the plant goes like 10, 15, 20 centimeters, and then the temperature is stable like this, you can just put it in your garden like I did just in front. You can see it right here where my garden is. After 4 to 5 maybe 6 months, the plants, they get bigger. In August they start flowering, and the trichomes start coming, the crystals. That's our medicine actually. And summer, in fall, September or October, the plant is ripening, actually the crystals, trichomes. And then after that is done, the ripening, you just cut the branches or the plants and put them in a dark room, 20 to 25 Celsius degrees, right?
Mm-hmm.
For a couple weeks, that's enough. Or you can do it faster if you use it, the humidifier, if you say right. And yeah, the process of drying is really important. You know, the plant, or actually the flowers of cannabis should be really dried, and then just that day, after those couple weeks of drying, you can, in couple hours, you can make the cannabis extract or the hemp extract. It's like a making of coffee actually. So as Rick said, the best way is to use the good quality solvent like naphtha. Here in Croatia we call that benzene for cleaning, or medical benzene for cleaning, or something like that. You just wash off the hemp flower or cannabis flower in one big bucket. You use 8 to 10 liters of solvent. What is really important for people to know, to wash off those flowers, actually the crystals. The solvent picks up the crystals, cannabinoids and terpenes and flavonoids on itself. It takes 3 to 4 minutes, because we don't really need the chlorophyll, you know, the green leaves. We don't want to do that. We just need the solvent to collect the crystals on itself. That's done in 3 to 4 minutes. Then you filter it really good. The best thing is to use microfilters, like for example coffee filters that you have in Canada, and then you just cook it off in a rice cooker. It's really important to use the fan, so the fan, while the solvent with cannabinoids is cooking off, so the fan blows away the fumes, yeah, because the fumes of the solvent, they're going up and then down. So you want to use the fan to blow it away. And the rice cooker is a great thing because that warmer is inside and it's covered, so there is no risk of a fire or because it's very dangerous. You know, we have to say that. So please use the fan once you're doing that, because it's an open distillation. At the end, so while the solvent cooks off, you just add up as much as you have it, whatever you washed off, and then when you have a last, I don't know, 5 centimeters circa, you just put like 10 drops of water, because the water has a bigger boiling point than the solvent, and then at one point you see this white steam, and that's the sign that's coming to the end, or there is no more solvent. What's also important to finish the cooking or to get a good quality extract, so you want to cook off the whole solvent and that water, those 10 drops of water you put in. And how you gonna know that? Because you have the bubbles you see in the rice cooker, and at the end always lifted up, as Rick showed us and said, so we don't get, the oil doesn't get burned off, you know, or cooked off. So as long as we have those bubbles, the extract is not done. So I was just like spinning it, and then at the end there's maybe small bubbles. So, but if you're not sure if you did it right, what can you do? Just you can use a glass jar which is high temperature resistant, right? And just pour that off, what you cooked off. Actually most of it is oil, but it might be some solvent residue left. So if you don't know, if you're not sure, just put it in this glass jar, and then for an hour in the oven up to 100 degrees, and then everything is okay, and we have great quality extra. What's important to say when we are talking about cannabis or hemp, because when we say hemp in Croatia, it means cannabis to me, you know. And we have three types, or I don't know if you say subspecies, you know, like indica, sativa, and ruderalis. So we really, indica makes you sleepy, you know, relaxes you, which is really important in our process of healing. Sativas, they give you energy, which is also all the strains and all these subspecies, they are healthy. For example, ruderalis, that's a type of cannabis or hemp that has a bigger amount or percentage of CBD, you know, and less THC. While if I want to use a good quality extract for myself, I really need 100% indica with a lot of THC. It would be the best in the extract to have 90% or 95% plus of THC and 1 to 3% of CBD. You know, of course, with all other cannabinoids, terpenes and flavonoids, because we get this entourage effect, you know, that synergy that works. That's really important for all the people to understand throughout education.
So talk a little bit about the dosage. How much people have to take of the oil?
Okay, so for the beginning, when we are talking about the dosage, as Rick stated, and he's talking about, and he wrote, I just used that, his knowledge. But the way I see it today, I think the first thing, the education, and then to start it going easier. The way I started, the Rick said, and he wrote, like to start with a quantity of a half a grain of rice, 3 times a day, in the morning, in the afternoon, and at night. Well, half a grain of rice is around 5.2 milligrams, right? So he said to use it 3 times a day, and every 4 days doubling the dosage, so you can come step by step up to 1 gram a day, or 333 milligrams in the morning, in the afternoon, and at night. What he said, for serious conditions like cancer patients that they're really damaged, it's good for them to use it's good for them to come up to 1 gram a day, which is optimal.
As soon as possible.
As soon as possible, yeah. Or to take even more if needed. So I felt that my tolerance was building up really fast. You know, the first time after 10 days I was already driving and reading a book, and it was great for me, that experience. You know, I was learning about myself and cannabis, what's really happening. And then later on, that just disappears as soon as our endocannabinoid system regulates, you know, the transport of all the other cannabinoids throughout our body on the receptors that bind. You know, so just disappears. Everything is like straightened away. Your immune system comes up. You feel healthy. You feel strong. Like you feel great at the end.
Let's see the.
Yeah, so
oil.
when we are talking about the oil, you see, yeah, so this is some substance. So, but now we are calling now we are talking about how can you see with your eyes in the beginning if it's a good quality. So, the Rick was saying that the color should be golden brown color. When you put it on a piece of paper, just a drop, and you spread it and you put it towards the light. But now I'm holding this syringe, and you can see through the top of the syringe, the color. It's a golden brown color, right? Yeah, I hope you see it. So, but while it's in a syringe, you can say it's almost black. But if you see it right, it's brown actually,
Yeah,
brown
yeah.
golden. So, if you spread it a drop on a paper, and if you see a little bit of green, or sometimes huge amounts of green, that's not a good thing, because it's not good thing in a meaning of quality of the extract, that it's supposed to be for our health, you know. So it might be potent, you might feel that, but the potency as the medicine, which is needed for me, that's the question. So I see this is a pretty good color, and I like it, you know. So the chlorophyll, the green thing is the chlorophyll, if you see it. Which chlorophyll is not bad, but at this point, if you are talking about the extract from cannabis, we don't need chlorophyll. I mean, if I want lots of chlorophyll, I'm gonna eat salad, right? No problem. So. At this point, we only need the crystals. Actually, at the end, this extract, it's not really oil. So we call it Rick Simpson oil, RSO, right? But Rick Simpson oil is at least over 90% THC in the extract, 100% indica or indica dominant. But now let's see if this extract is so all. This.
Yeah, it's golden.
Yeah, it's golden. You can see it. You can spread it a little bit. So that's what we want to see, right?
And then you just ingest it.
Yeah.
Like that,
So
or-
I started with half a grain of rice. So I put here. You see, people ask about the dosage. So we have more than 8 billion people on this earth, and we are all different. Yeah, we have almost the same needs, or the same, you know. We need to eat, drink, sleep, you know, when it's cold to be in warm, when it's too warm to cool off a little bit. You know, we have the same basic needs. But at the end, we are completely different as human beings, and our existence, you know, we have, so this physical level of us, and the spiritual level, and we are all completely different. So maybe this is enough for me, but for you need more, or even less, or somebody third or fourth will need 3 times as much, you know. So every patient, we need to feel this way, but in the beginning it's good to start. You see, how much is half a grain of rice, you know, depends how long this is. So maybe like this, maybe less, maybe more. So you
just eat it.
Yeah, I just like Rick showed us. This is the easiest way. Why? Because we don't want to throw any of this extract. You know, we wanna. I just collect it. I scrape it with my teeth. I'll throw a little bit of the spit from the inside. I collect it with my front teeth in the back, and swallow it. So the extract starts working in a period from like an hour and a half to up to 2 hours. So we don't feel the effects right away. So we can explain a little bit what's the effect.
The effects, yes.
Yeah, why not? Why not? That's really
I
important.
want to know how I'm gonna get.
Yeah. So you see, in the beginning, I had no idea what I'm gonna feel. I just understood, okay, I'm gonna feel sleepy, down, you know, and I was really happy about it. That was enough for me, you know, to hear. And what was really important, Rick was saying at the seminar, that it's not gonna hurt us. It's not bad, you know, because sometimes the doctor gives you the medicine and then you read, then you see, you know, well, this is maybe bad for the bones, you know. Well, which kind of medicine is that? So
side effects.
yeah, the side effects. Yeah, over here. So when we are talking about side effects, actually, this is the so that effect that we feel, and so when what we're supposed to feel in about hour and a half, or in 2 hours, you know, sleepy effect. You know, so this way your body tells you, you know, just sit down, relax, or lay down. It's the best thing is to go to sleep in your bed, you know. This way the body is that's the best way for body to detoxify and to regenerate. Also people say, oh yeah, the side effect, I have a dry mouth. Well, my people, that's the body tells you, you know, to drink. We are at least over 80% or even more water. You know, we need to drink water, at least 1.5 or 2 liters of liquid. The best would be natural water, or even a lemonade, or some other natural tea. It's really important for us, because when we go to pee, that's how we detoxify, we clean our body, right? All the poisons go out. And so that's, so then there is other effects. There's many effects. So some people say I feel like I don't know, euphoric. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Actually, up to this day, I have no idea what this word means even in Croatian. You know, euphoric. You know, what's that? So
it's very happy, very cheerful.
Well, we all different. In the somebody who starts for the first time, then it's good maybe to start with a smaller dosage than half a grain of rice, maybe half of that grain of rice. You know, so because nothing bad is gonna happen. But if people take too much, then those effects like dry mouth, dizziness, or people say I feel dizzy, I feel drunk. Yeah, the body tells you to sit down, because when doctor gives you medicine, for sure he doesn't or she doesn't tell you go out and walk and have fun. You know, they tell you, you know, just to relax, be at home, take care of yourselves, be in peace, right? The peace is really important, you know, for us patients, especially for MS patients, but for anybody. So understanding the other people living in home or house, right? So they understand what's happening. So it's really good for that person to be in peace, you know, not in some kind of conversation where you argue or fight or something like that. No, you want to be relaxed, and everything's gonna be okay. So all these effects, dry mouth, dizziness, drunkenness, whatever you feel, that's over the time. This is just gonna go away. Maybe it's going to take 4, 5, 6 weeks. I don't know. Maybe it's going to just take 2, 3 weeks. Mm-hmm. So we are all different. We have to understand that. Somebody will need much more time. You know. For me, the optimum would be like 2 to 3 grams a day of that extract, and a good quality extract. But for some people, it's enough. 500 milligrams, half a gram, right? Mm-hmm. Would be enough. Or maybe less, a little bit more. We're all different. I think for the beginning, it's important to get as fast as you can up to a gram, and then to care of it. It's not so. People have to understand. Only good can happen, nothing bad. So you can sleep a lot. Sure, sleep. Please do. Take at least a month or 2 off of your work or whatever you do. Don't. Please do not think like, oh, I have to go to the bank today, or I have to go to the store, I have to do this and that. No, just relax, because you have a serious health condition. It doesn't matter if this is MS, cancer, diabetes, arthritis, or I don't know, some burn or some pain. You know, cannabis or the extract, it's great for the pain. I also met lots of patients that they only use throughout smoking, inhaling cannabis. You know. And for example, some MS patients, they do a couple puffs, they can walk. I mean, but unfortunately, in my case, it's not like that. But before I met Rick, I never even smoked a joint or cannabis, so I don't know what to tell you. It's just I was raised up. That's not a good thing for you. I didn't care about that, or even alcohol or cigarettes, and that's how I went through. Even I lived in California for 6 years. I never smoked a joint, you know. But I was spending time with they were my friends. They were smoking all the time. So I said, sure, yeah, I have no problem with that. Please do. If you feel great, I have no problem with that, because if you're good to me, I'll be good to you. That's all what it's about. That's what all happened. I was really confused in the US, but then now I understand that that everybody should use cannabis. This is a super nutrient. You can use it as the tea, as hemp hearts, whatever, you know.
Now that we talk a little bit about the effects and how you can make the oil. What about some of the discoveries that some scientists that you were talking about have made, or some clinical cases, or?
I mean, this is the way I see it. I mean, I met Professor Lemire and Dr. Paul, right, from Canada, and after I met Rick, and that was really important for me to understand this endocannabinoid system, cannabinoids in cannabis and in our body, those terpenes and flavonoids, which are as important as the cannabinoids, you know. So that was really important knowledge for me. But at the end, what was the most important for me, will this substance help me, you know, to have a good quality life, so I don't have to be worrying if I pick up 5 kilos of something that I'll get some kind of symptom that I cannot even button my shirt, or I cannot write or eat, you know. It's a big trouble. So I accomplished that. But through that period I was learning, you know, from 2011 to up to 2014, and now of course, about the cannabinoids and cannabis and our body through our scientists. And they were saying there is like thousands of studies done, you know, for all kinds of health conditions, multiple sclerosis, cancer, arthritis, diabetes, PTSD, you just name it, pain, burns. I don't know. I was really surprised to hear all that. So I said, this is great. Now there's over 150,000 or 180,000 studies. So it's going up to 200,000 studies. I mean, so the way I think now, I'm the clinical study. The people got better. It doesn't matter if it's MS or cancer or arthritis. It's a clinical study by itself, as it is. So I'm the proof, and I guarantee you with my life, no problem with that. I mean, my mom saw everything, my friends also. I mean, who would do over 5,000 bee stings on your body, you know, just to have fun? You wouldn't, trust me, because you see, if 300 bee stings sting you at once, that's like a snake biting you, so you can die. It's also a solution to that. But you see, with cannabis, I used 3 grams of an extract. This is also extract. Nothing bad happened to me. Only good. Only good. And I don't have this feeling. Those periods I had in between the growing, when I didn't have the extract, I was trying to feel if my body is going to have the need, you know, like addiction. You know, like you have an addiction. Some people like to drink alcohol, smoke cigarettes, and so on. But I didn't feel any addiction. So what Rick was saying at that seminar, and then after I was learning from scientists, they're saying the truth. So there's no, you know, body shake or whatever happening with your body that I need to smoke or inhale or eat cannabis. No. It's also important to say why do we actually when we make the oil, we cook the cannabinoids, but it's really important, you know, for the cannabis to go through the decarboxylation process. You know, that's where for example, THCV, I think, turns to THC. You know, it happens something that scientists can explain. That's good for our body. So this decarboxylation, because if you in my garden, if I would eat the whole flower, nothing would happen. No effect. It's also healthy, but there is some other ways to explain that. You know, it's also healthy, or just drinking a juice.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but this decarboxylation of trichomes, it's really important, and scientists, they especially Dr. Paul Hornby, and he has many studies done with people with epilepsy, even MS patients, and I have one of the, he sent me one of those studies. So there is, for epilepsy, it's good to have for example, a strain that has more CBD and less THC, even for some MS patients. But for some for some other health conditions, it's important to have 100% indica for cancer patients. But for myself too, also. So more THC, less CBD, but 100% indica. But for example, the ruderalis has a lot of CBD. And that this is a wild plant, and here in the Balkans growing. You're going to Macedonia, and Phil will tell you all about it, and it's great. I mean, this rhodioralis is a good type of cannabis or hemp for epilepsy and some MS patients, PTSD, and some other patients, of course.
Mm-hmm. Now you belong to an organization, you know, and you help some other patients too, no?
Oh yes, of course. So from the beginning, when I got the first results, I went to my friends with the same health condition, so MS, and some other people there. I was not holding the information. You know, I was so happy that I have good information to tell to people. Look, maybe I did this. Maybe it's going to help you. I don't know. If you don't try, you'll never know. So I had maybe just so much left at the end. I said, okay, I want to visit these people in Rijeka, in Zagreb, and I went. You know, I gave them the material from the internet, and I showed them this is how it's supposed to look like, and I explained the dosage. You know, how you start and where you're supposed to get up to it. And then, at one point, over the years, there were people calling me all over the place. There were even people coming down from all around Croatia here, and if I had the plants at that period, I would show them here in the garden, or I don't know, in the, how do you say, the buckets, before I put them in the garden, because I felt this is really important, you know, to people to see what is really medicine, so they know. Also, people in village, they all knew, because I planted the plants 10 meters from the public way where you can see everything anyway. So why hide something what is good for you, or all of us? That's how I think. So as the time went, since 2011,
police came then?
Yeah, in 2014, you see, I was thinking, you know, it's the time to do something official. How can I educate people? So I started this. I opened the Hemp Helps Association, right? And I started. There was just a month before the police came and they closed me in prison. Actually, you know, for one night in Opatija, then the rest 6 or 7 days in Rijeka. They were all polite to me, but you know, I think that one night in Opatija in a room where is mold is not good for any kind of patient or any kind of person. It's not just right, you know, to close the patient in a room without the windows, even if it's for one night and there is mold. You know, in Rijeka it was much better condition, and it was okay. But so I spent those 7 or 8 days, I think 7 days, I have to read that, I forgot, in Rijeka. Well, you get bored after 3 days, you know. I didn't go out to do any exercise and stuff like that. But you know, when I got out of prison, you know, some media and friends were waiting for me. So then I said the whole story from the beginning to the end, why I did this and what is really happening. So all the TV stations over the days came, you know, and I didn't hide it. I wanted that was a good thing because all the Croatian people in Croatia and the outside Croatia could hear, you know, cannabis is a good thing, or hemp, it's a great thing. It is not a devil with three horns, right? It's a good thing. You know, good is good, bad is bad. Cannabis is good. You know, alcohol is bad, destroys your cells and destroys your life and spirit and everything. You know, your soul, like cocaine and heroin. In that aspect of talking about cannabis or hemp, it's totally wrong to use the effect, the word psycho effect. There's nothing to do with. It's just the words are detoxification, regeneration, and sleepiness. And you wake up like light, you know, like you have energy, you can do something, you know, you have the will, you know. And that's the idea of having good quality life. I want to say people, you know, what's the purpose of my existence if I don't have health? I cannot work, I cannot pay my bills, I cannot pay the taxes which are needed, you know, to bring up our not only so the financial prosperity, but intellectual the prosperity of people in every country in the world. I just told you an example before. So, for example, there's kids that have multiple sclerosis, or even babies with cancer. So at this point, what is happening right now? I cannot get I'm not allowed to grow cannabis. I'm not allowed to use the extract. I'm not allowed to do anything. So, I'm not allowed to live. This is a serious thing, you know. So somebody is telling me you don't have a choice, you don't have a right of choice to live, you don't have a right of choice to eat something and help yourself. I think this is already a serious thing, and at this point I would like to say to all our Croatian people and the whole Balkans, inside of Balkans and outside of Croatia and Balkans, please help us. I mean, you live in countries like Canada, in Vancouver, California, and all other countries where cannabis is just like a culture, and at the end, or the first place, it's a food. So what's wrong? I'm not allowed to take food, so please, I have a feeling that my existence doesn't have any purpose. If I forbid you to have food or get healthy, what's the purpose of us spending time? How can I be happy if you tell me you have pain? How can I smile? I think we live in a serious period that we have to really think through. I understand that we live in a system where the money is important. Of course, I don't want to carry a kilo of apples, you know, to exchange with kilo of mandarins or bananas. So we use money, you know, as for exchange. But if people want to make money of cannabis, I think the perfect example is, for example, in Canada or California, where you have dispensaries, in Vancouver, right? Mm-hmm. I think that's the great solution, you know. So there is patience. You can get all kinds of qualities. You don't have any fear. You are relaxed. So dispensaries are making money. Government is making money from taxes, and the money can be used for more research if you think more studies can be done. How many studies do we need to do to become human beings? How many more studies? You asked me, you know, if I know some clinical studies, you know, but so many, around 200,000 studies have been done. This is the most researched plant in the world ever. We've been using it over 10,000 years and nobody died from it. So how many studies do we need to make or to do to become human beings? Just when you tell me, look, I have a pain, I say, well, you might use that or something else, and you will not have pain, you'll have smile, then I'll have smile too.
Okay, well, thank you very much, Juanito, for the interview. And if people want to get in touch with you, with your organization,
sure. Well,